It's already amazing. Just hope we're going to get some people in. Welcome to the Monday mayhem. Something we started a couple of weeks ago. It's got really, really popular, to be honest. We'll see if it's as popular this week. Last week was amazing. So let's see if this one's as good. Obviously, if it's your first time here, pleased to have you here. And if you're interested in the things that we're doing, why not give us a subscription? Obviously, it's free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe on YouTube, which is slightly different to TikTok, I think. But we're just going to come on for, well, as long as it takes, really. Last week was nearly an hour and a half. Probably won't be on for as long as that, but we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. Thursday night wasn't quite as busy as Monday night, but we still had loads of people, 178, I think, something like that. But last Monday night, we had over 600 come through, which for a live stream is absolutely fabulous, really. I'm used to doing them. Obviously, this is in the vertical mode, which is called something else. I can never remember what it's called. But if you are new to doing live streams on YouTube, hello Scott, what are you doing? Nice to see you. First one in. Hopefully it's first one of many. I'm using the iPhone tonight because the Samsung's not charged up enough. I've been using it today. I've been out and about. I've been to. I went over to Fiddlethorpe, which is just at the side of Mablethorpe. I went to Tank Beach and did a video there. And then I went around the nature reserve and did another video there. So I've got a couple of videos done now. I'm back out on Wednesday because Sue's out on Wednesday, so I'm going to go out and have another go. I don't know where I'm going to go on Wednesday. I just picked the quietest areas of Lincolnshire because obviously the kids are off, aren't they? So, and I'm not really cool with going around and filming stuff, with kids, people's kids and stuff like that. Just it didn't really sort of go with me, but I really enjoyed it today. It's been lovely. I didn't get out last week, so today's been absolutely, well, the trouble is it got windy. Looks like you're proper enjoying it. Yeah, well, that's right. Good evening, Graham. How are you? Nice to see you. So Graham spelt correctly. I remembered what it was, what we always used to call you. Graham spelt correctly. Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. Yeah, it's lovely. I must admit, when I got up this morning, I wasn't in the best of moods, to be honest. I don't know why. Good evening, Ellie. How are you doing? Hi to you too. I think that's how you spell Ellie. We'd spell it with an E, but you don't know what country you're from. So hopefully we're going to get 10 million people in like we did last week. It was a good laugh last week. I nicknamed it, or I've called it. We're only here for the comments because some people pop in and they say lots and lots of different things. Hello, Cloud Chucker. Nice to see you. Going to that, we've got 30 in now, so we must have been shared out somewhere. Joe Rogers 9207. Hello to you. So we're straight into it. We're going in hot tonight. I think we've just been recommended by YouTube, which is pretty good. I know last week or the week before they put us in recommended us at the side of one of the auditing channels, where the auditing channels get some. And I know that I'm sort of Midlands. Depends where you are, Joe. If you're down south, I'm a lot more north than you. I'm in Lincolnshire. But I grew up in a house full of Yorkshire people, so I tend to have a mixture of accents, really. But we're in a little place called Gainsborough, which is just on the Nottinghamshire-Lincolnshire border, where the River Trent comes through. Whereabouts are you, Joe? Near Ormskirk. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, Skelmersdale. I know where you are. I don't think I've ever been, but I know where you are. Well, my dad's from Conisborough, near Doncaster, and my mum's actually from Edlington, at the side of Doncaster. I'm definitely way more north than you. Where are you? You're in Cornwall, aren't you, Stuart? Scott? Yeah, we're in. So I say I'm half Yorkie, really, because I was brought up in a house full of Yorkshire people, so I tend to say things in that sort of way, and people have no idea where I'm from. I worked away quite a lot as well around the UK. You're now in Essex. Oh, whereabouts? I went to Hornchurch the other week. Is that Essex? I think so. I think Hornchurch is in Essex. Tamid, how you doing? Yo, sup, man? Cool. Is that how we talk nowadays? Tamid? You scouse. Worked in Scotland, not far from it. What, me? Yeah, I did. I worked up on Climpy Road in Forth in Lanarkshire. I was up there for about 3-4 months. Oh, yeah, Hornchurch, yeah. I was a bit surprised when I had to pay to get off the M25 and come into there. I drive a cab for a living, so I actually picked up in Hornchurch. I brought the mother up with me and picked a young girl up that had been staying with her grandparents for about a month. We can't go too far into that, obviously, for privacy laws. Romford, yeah, I know, yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard of a guy called Ricky Murray, but he does if you look, put Ricky Murray's Guide to Hornchurch and Ricky Murray's Guide to Romford in the thing. I know his sister; she lives here, and it's a real good watch. It's tongue in cheek, it's good laugh. Have a watch of it. Ricky Murray's Guide to Romford and Ricky Murray's Guide to Hornchurch. Bit of a local character. Worked in can't think what he does now, but he used to work in a second-hand clothes shop, but like designer sort of clothes shop, and you can tell he's got a real good. He's got a bit of banter with him. Like it's really funny. I mentioned YouTube to her one day when I picked her up, and she said, "Oh, my brother did a YouTube video. And he's got loads of views on it, but it's lots of years old, and he hasn't done any more, so he's not really done much more of a thing." We're doing well tonight. We haven't had any insults. Do you regularly come on live on YouTube? Yeah, I've started doing it twice a week. I've actually been doing it for quite a few years. I had a different channel to do with e-cigarettes, and YouTube sort of fell out with it a bit, so and demonetised me. So I actually started doing some Ricky Murray. Muarry, Ricky Murray's Guide to Romford, and he also did one which is Ricky Murray's Guide to Hornchurch, from what I remember. And it brings in the local sites. I say it's a good few years old now. So Ricky, I think it's Ricky, and then Murray. Yeah, have a look. Don't look now, like obviously. Share it around between everybody. He's a right character. When I'd like to meet him one day. I nearly said something I shouldn't then, but. He's definitely a bit of a character. I say he worked in a second-hand clothes shop, but like a designer one. So he's got the look and everything. He's a bit of a cool guy, but it's funny. It's really funny. He's sort of taking the mickey out of. He's done tongue-in-cheek, but he's taking the mickey out of the area, as you would expect him to do. But I say, when I watched it, he had quite a few views, but he'd never sort of carried on with with his YouTube career, because I think. He was that sort of character where he could have done really well at it, especially if he'd have carried on doing that type of thing. But I was talking to his sister the other week, and I can't remember what he does for a living now, but it's nothing to do with what he was doing before. I think he's got all serious and, got married and that. But I say it was funny. Yeah, I do 2 lives a week, and I'm also on another live show with a lad called Benny Vapes. Am I married yet? Been married for 40 years last year. It was my 40th wedding anniversary in November. And she's at work at the minute, so I usually do my YouTube stuff while she's there. I went to answer the door earlier and the dog ate my dinner. I was well pissed off and started again. What was it, Mike? I'm still feeding the cat. I've always been feeding the cat, but what I have to do, he has to have some painkillers because he injured himself on Thursday. And they gave me some painkillers. I said, well, he'll never touch them. And anyway, apparently they're made with a bit of like honey flavoured or something like that. And as soon as he sees the sausage, egg and chips, as soon as he sees the syringe come out, because you put the syringe on the bottom of the bottle, it's got no needle, obviously, and then you just suck out 6.5 kilos. That's what it says on the thing, because that's how big he is. He's a big lad. And as soon as he sees it, he's like, And you hold it down at the thing, and he comes up and starts licking the end of the and you just gradually, slowly push it in like that, and he gets it all down him. I mean, trying to get him to have a worming tablet, you've got no chance in the world, but he's quite into these painkillers. And you can tell within half an hour he ain't got any pain anymore, and he wants to go out and all sorts of things. Yeah, 6.5 kilo he is, yeah, he's a big lad. He's not very photogenic, so we don't take many photographs of him, because he's jet black. And obviously, when you point a light on the top of him, he's brown, but he's not very photogenic. You'd have to put him on a white sheet, really. Yeah, he's a big lad. He's 11 years old. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, it's the same with the cat. We took him down last week. Thankfully, he's on insurance. But I took him down, and they had to x-ray him because they couldn't find out what was wrong with him. It was 640 quid. I could never imagine, I mean, if it wasn't been insured, I'd have still paid for it because he's the love of my life. Like he's my best mate. And obviously, Steve's not here quite a lot because she's at work and I'm at work, and he's like our little kid, especially since Lou's been poorly. he gets spoilt rotten because he's like a big cuddly teddy bear, and when you've had a bad day, whittering about stuff, he's like a teddy bear that's cuddling and purring. He's a lovely guy. We got him 11 years ago, and he was a very small kitten. I don't think he was really old enough to leave the mother. And we started, we feed it. He's not fat. He's just big. If you get him when they're really small, and feed them up, they'll always come up. They'll come up well. And he has. He's beautiful. He's jet black, and his fur is really shiny because he eats the right food. We've just changed his food over. I don't know if you've seen them on Facebook. There's a company called Catkin. Well, we used to get him, because he's spoilt rotten, we used to get him all sorts of different food, and he'd have it for a couple of days and then get fed up with it. This stuff, it comes frozen once a month in a big box, and you keep getting it out of the freezer. You have to remember to get it out of the freezer. That's the only thing. And he eats every pouch of it, and it works out at 40 quid a month, but we were spending that on him anyway. And half the stuff used to end up outside for the stray cats to eat, because he just wouldn't eat it. He'd eat it for 2 days and then just leave a full bowl full. But with this stuff, he absolutely loves it, and it fills him up as well. So he'll have one in the morning and one at night, and he normally likes to go out at night, but just since he's got a bad leg, they don't feel very confident at going out, because obviously they need to do it. Joe Rogers, male cats are usually big. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Especially if you obviously because all they've got to do is lounge about. I mean, he does get a bit fat over the winter because as he's got older, he's not that keen of going outside when it's cold. But during the summer, he loses it all off and he gets real toned up. And he's a good-looking lad, like. He's gorgeous. They had to shave a bit off under his neck, so he looks a bit strange at the minute. You can see the sort of white coming through at the bottom of it. He's a bit fussy. I suppose the thing is, if you get a stray cat, they're not fussy at eating because they're hungry. Whereas if you get a domesticated cat, they are fussy because they've got enough to choose, haven't they? They get a chance to choose, and they know full well if they don't eat that, you'll give them something else. But for a long while, my wife, we used to feed him on beef. My wife works in the supermarket, and they used to let him bring it home for the cat. They actually stopped him doing it in the end, but he used to live on slightly out-of-date topside for one bit. That made him look good. If you get him some good stuff. So anyway, if you haven't seen me before, if you'd like to give us a subscribe, it'd be handy, because what I basically do is go for a walk once a week, or twice a week this week, and then I just post it up online. I use a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, so I will load in 4K 60 frames per second, and I just give people a look round the places that I go to. Mainly for quite a few months, with it being winter, I've been doing the East Coast sort of resorts like Mablethorpe. And today I went out to a place called Tank Beach and did a video about that, and then went to a nature reserve and did that. I've got one male black and white, huge, was a stray, and one female tiny, long-haired English blue, beautiful. I don't know whether I'd, because the pedigree ones are a fortune, aren't they? And that one of ours, there's no way you can keep them in at night. And I think sometimes if they cost a lot of money, it must be a bit nerve-wracking if you do let them out. You see them little rag dolls and things, and they're beautiful, aren't they? This one's just a moggy. I don't know. He's jet black, and I don't know whether there's an actual breed for it, but it's just a moggy. But he was spitting image of his mother. His mother used to get out the kitchen window and sit on top of the car roof, which was parked just outside, and. And when you actually saw his mother, you could just see exactly whose baby he was, that, because she'd got the same sort of flat nose. It got sort of comes down like that and then goes like that in again. She was free. She goes out in a lead. She's evil as hell. Yeah. What do they call them? Maine Coons. I've seen them. They're massive, aren't they? I know a lady that had a few of them, and she said you can't let them out. She said they drive me bloody barmy most of the time. We actually paid 35 quid for him. Once upon a time, there used to be that many cats. You could get, if you want a kitten, there's always somebody giving some away. Not long now, Mick, I will bring the RTA glass for you, mate. Oh, I forgot you had it. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thanks. I've been having a bit of a buying spree with that. I'll have to tell you about it. But I bought a Delro, but a Chinese version of it, and I'm not. If I could send it back, I would. To be honest, if I got it from Amazon, it'd have gone straight back. And to be honest, I can't even find it. But I'll show you it anyway. It's not really what I was looking for, and it was a lot of money. 10 people. We're doing well. We haven't got any insults tonight. Normally, you get a load of things to bat off, really, don't you? But I did put in the description, if you're going to be insulting, you've got to spell it properly, otherwise I'll take it out. So that's probably gone. What's your channel about? Mick, I have to have a look when I finish. It's I started going live. It's a walk. I started it in December. I didn't have any subscribers in December. We've got just over 200. I lost a couple this weekend. I don't know where they went. Hello, Free Rider. How you doing? And I say, basically, I just record. I go out for a walk. I've recorded some beautiful things in 4K 60 just to make them nice and crisp and clean. I bought an Osmo Pocket 3, which is a little DJI camera with a gimbal on the top. Moves about like that, and I just go around finding, like country walks, or I've got a drone as well. I've done there's some drone footage on there. I try to put a little bit of that on most of them, but the place where I've been to today is next to the where the RAF or the MOD train pilots to bomb things. So you can't fly a drone there because it's dark orange and then red. Ben McGrath, how you doing? Arnie Slot? Don't know who that is. Is that an insult? Is it spelt right? You should have put a capital A. I don't know who Arnie Slot is. I can't. The only trouble is when you go live on the phone, you can't actually see the. Hey, is he really? Oh, right. No, I don't know. Thank you very much. So it wasn't rude then. Sabrina, how you doing? You're back. I remember you from the other night. Nice to see you again. Thanks for coming back. Oh, he's a Liverpool boss. See, I don't follow football in any way, shape, or form, so I'm no good with it at all. Right, Arnie. That's a foreign name then. Is it pronounced Slot or Slot? I remember to put some ice in the Houston, Texas. Lovely. Oh, he's Dutch. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he will be. Not as I know anybody. I've been to Holland quite a lot. This is like one of them fake Stanley Cups off Amazon. It cost about 20 quid. And the Stanley ones are about 40, aren't they? And I drink sort of Diet Coke and stuff like that at night sometimes. And I put some ice cubes in a Diet Coke last night. And I'd forgot to wash it out. I just went to wash it out and it still had ice in the bottom of it. It hits the like button or it gets the lotion. My dad got one of them, keeps his tea roasting for hours. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the good thing is with this, it's got a steel straw. You can't really show you. It's got a stainless steel straw. It even comes with a straw brush that, to clean it all out, make sure it don't go manky. I don't have any sugar in mine, so I just rinse it out with warm water. But when you take the straw out, there's a little peg there. I don't know if you can see it. So that goes in the hole. And then you flick a thing up at the side and you can use it as a cup. The only thing is with them normally, they taste a bit flasky, so I've not really done a lot with that. I have a cup that is made by the company Chili's. Is that from the US? Yeah, my wife got the Morrison's one for about 6 quid, so that was about 20, I think. But I stopped drinking in November, so I didn't really want to drink it out of a glass, if you know what I mean. I tried to change everything to be completely different. I didn't want to sit, and so I thought I'll put it in a cup, and it'd be handy for when I go on holiday as well, because it'll keep it cold in the sun. So it was a bit of an investment, really. Stopped drinking alcohol it was 5 months ago yesterday. Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, first time in 30 years. Never had a week off in 30 years. I think it's from the USA, but it was in the UK. Yeah, Chile, I thought it was, yeah. Well, yeah, thanks. Yeah, it was, I think it was more, I'm not going to say it was easy, because that would be a lie. and I did used to get plenty down me, but I just decided it was time, so I thought I'd have a go at it, and I thought I'd try it for a week. No PO box. Can I send you a Yeti? What, the cups? No, you don't need to send me anything. You could just stay there and yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, that's right. That's it. Oh, Graham's been stopped 3 years. They got like this the other night. We were all sat chatting about it, and it's surprising how many blokes actually want to, and or have done, and it's surprising. Well, and women obviously, but so I got a bit too far into it for comfort, and I'd sort of got massive. I had like 5 chins, and my eyes looked like they were sunk in. Sweet tea. I don't know. I've never tried sweet tea. Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah. Hopefully, I might be able to avoid the box for a while. Yeah, thank you very much. I did a little video on it yesterday, and I didn't want to be like one of these people, because there's a lot of people on social media who stop drinking, and they haven't drunk for about 3 or 4 months, and the next thing they were a guru on it, and they want to sell you a course in how to do it. So the thing is with it, once you want to stop, you actually just have to stop, and that's the way it is. A bit of willpower. I suppose you sort of get to the point with alcohol where you have a bad day and you think, well, I'll get drunk and make it feel better. And you have a good day and you want to celebrate, so you have some more alcohol. Not going to lie, I drink too much also, and I'm glad I've come across your channel for the inspiration. No, it's not. I'm not going to say it's easy to say it's easy. I mean, you just don't have one, but it doesn't stop the thought of having one. But it does sort of get better. I mean, 5 months I couldn't have done 5 days, and I was really surprised. I was a little. It was a bit of a bruisey bonus, but it sort of was. But the first lot of high blood pressure medication they gave me didn't suit me, and I just thought, oh, you must feel this bad when you've got high blood pressure. And then somebody said to me, yeah, I can. Yeah, of course I am. Yeah, I'll talk about it forever. So I didn't actually fancy one. Whereas, well, I don't really fancy one now. Just odd times. There's just odd times. I mean, I saw 2 tramps having a special brew about last week, and it was ridiculous because I thought, I could murder one of them. But then you think, well, these lads are homeless. You know what I mean? And that's why. That's it, isn't it? No, I didn't. Just willpower. No, I didn't go to rehab. No, I didn't. No, I just. I say I was lucky because. Well, I suppose it's luck. I felt like crap when I found out I got a massive high blood pressure, and I'm supposed most of it was to do with the alcohol. Yeah, loads, absolutely loads. Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't an all day thing because I've got a business and I work full time. No, it doesn't matter. Carry on. You ask away, mate. No problem. I wasn't doing 5 o'clock in the morning. I would still be up at 4, but I wasn't starting at 5 or anything like that. I'm not an alcoholic, but I always say I used to help them out very much when they were busy. You know what I mean? If I'd have carried on for much longer, I'd have been in serious trouble with it. I used to get edema in my legs when they used to swell up when it was warm. I say I'd put loads and loads of weight on. I'd put 4 stone on, probably 3-4 stone in the end. I used to have an enormous sort of, like I'm expecting a child. It was that sort of belly, and all underneath here. I mean, I've still got some now, but I'm nearly bloody 60 now. But all here, I've got a photograph of my 40th wedding anniversary stood next to my brothers, and one of them's a gym bunny, and the other one looks after his weight. It damages your nerves. It can actually damage brain cells as well. I used to forget what I was talking about, stuff like that. I'd be doing live streams and I'd be just about to do something, and it just used to go. And since I've stopped drinking, that's not happening as much. I still forget the names of things, but I'd just be like in some sort of fog. But whether that's a damage or whether it's just the effects of drinking too much, I don't know. But obviously, driving a cab for a living. Well, that's yeah. Well, you do anyway. It depends how old you are, Joe. But if you're over 40, you probably will anyway. We all do the thing where you go upstairs to pick something up and you get running around. Stu, how you doing? You finally got here, mate. Nice to see you. If anybody's interested in the type of thing that I do, as well as electric bikes, you could do worse. Or I'd really appreciate it if you'd click on Run Around Stu. I forget things all the time, probably all the punches and egg kicks from when I trained. All right, yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think that helps out, really, looking back on it. What were you training as then, Graham? What was it, martial arts, or are you MMA, or 39? No, I'm lost. Yeah, but say, I've lost my train of thought now. There you go. It's happened again. No, it was worse. I used to just sort of be sat there and it would just disappear. I don't know how you're going to pronounce that. Obviously, that's Thai mostly, but gave up. Injuries were getting worse. Yeah. I don't know how old you are, Graham, spelt correctly. I've never been a fighting type. I'm a fair lump, and I think the fact that I am. Are you 35? 35, bloody hell. Oh, that's old. When's the perfect time to give up a fighting career then? Other than like Saturday nights. Yeah, I'm bloody 59 this year. It just disappears, doesn't it? Life just disappears. If anybody's can share this out, it'd be really handy. Get a few more people in, it'd be nice. So last week it was popping. 40, yeah. I used to work with a guy and he was karate, and he'd got no bottom teeth and all sorts of things like that. And I was thinking, I said, "This is how I stopped doing it." I said, "What did you pack it in for?" He says, "I'm too old to do it, you fool." I don't know. I never thought of that. I suppose it's not so much that you can't handle yourself; it's the time it takes for your body to fix, doesn't it? Really. I mean, you see some of these people, them MMA fighters, and you think, wow, they're so fast. And if they put a shirt on, you wouldn't even recognise them. Not for about 5 years. So you packed up at 30. Retired at 30. Yeah, there was never. I was brought up in a village, so there was never anything like that. If you had a bit of an argument with somebody, your mum used to find out and used to get in trouble. So I was never much of a fighting sort of man. But I think every man's the same. If you've got your back to the wall and you're protecting your family, anybody will have a fight, won't they? Even if you've got to do it with an hammer or something. Yeah, I think you're right, Scott. I'm a bit the same. Especially since Lou's been bad. Well, she's not bad. She's obviously bad, but especially since Lou's been poorly, I'd rather cuddle people. They get a lot of cauliflower here, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you see them around here, they're just young lads having a bit of a dance. They dance more than what they fight, but if you got the Irish lad from round here and dropped him in the middle of Glasgow, Moss Side, Birmingham, they won't get out alive. That'd be it, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, you're better off having a cuddle. You do a lot better having a cuddle. Yeah, well, this is a have a look at the Ed Balance one from Nature Vape. I got the Ed Balance one. It's all right. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be, and I've seen something. I could have got a lot better second hand for that. Well, that's right. That's exactly right, Stu. That like if somebody come round for an argument and say, "What's up with you? Are you going to calm down? Come have a cup of tea." That's what I'd be like. Why would you? That's the way I am for people. You can usually sort it out verbally, unless you get somebody who's a bit of a loon. I've liked and subbed. I'm going to have a browse on your channel. Thanks for the chat. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Depends what you're into, but there's quite a few different things on there. that might float your boat. If you're into seas and rivers and stuff like that, it'll be pretty good. Thanks very much, Graham. I don't even know how I thought of doing it, to be honest, because I've never had any exercise since I was, God, I don't know. I wasn't really keen on exercise when I was a kid. And I thought, right, I'm going to go for a walk and I'll film it. And it's just gone on from there, really. I must admit, though, this morning I was a bit tired and hadn't slept that well, and it was a bit of a thing. Yeah, okay. Catch you later, Joe. Nice to speak to you or chat to you, and keep at it. Well, that's nice. I think we must have got rid of all the trolley types. We just get nice people in now. Send me a pic of me down. Yeah, well, yeah. It's not actually one. It's if you look on the Nature Mate one, it's there. If I can find it, I haven't seen it for about 2 or 3 days. I don't know what I've done with it. But what normally happens is I'm trying to do something and I've got a desk full and I move stuff. I found it. I'll just show you the bottom of it. There you go. See, I'd moved it, Anna. I just moved it. They're 120 on Nature Vape if you ever look on there. But I say they're about 240 if you buy the real one. But I saw a real one which was better than the 240 ones on a site, a second-hand site, for about 120. Yeah, they're all right. Yeah, so it wasn't really what I wanted. But say if it had been an Amazon purchase, it'd have probably gone back. Let's be honest. But you can't sort of send things back. Plus the fact I tried to get the sticker off the case and ruined it. It came with the most dodgy sticker in the world on the front, so I'm there trying to scrape it off, and I've damaged it. But it'll end up in the bin anyway, won't it? So we've got 9 people in. Anybody talking? Is everybody talking or nobody talking? It's a lot easier when you get... I mean, the other week when we first started, you still using old rig? Oh, right, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. I don't spend a lot on it now, I'll be honest, because you just sort of get to the point where you think, well, there's no point. The stuff I normally use is the same stuff I've used every day for 2 years. And I keep buying stuff, but it never replaces the stuff that I've, had 2 years. But I've got a really nice one coming off Mr. Blumpkin's bargains. A real nice tank, so I was going to use that. I wanted a decent MTL setup. I don't know what one of them is. So I wanted a real nice tank, so he's sending me one. Well, I bought it off him, and he's not sending it. It's 31. I'll have a look at that later. So we can't really talk about too much on there, because I did one the other week on the other channel, and I was actually sat there vaping, and all of a sudden they put it behind the age gate and stopped recommending stuff. And now if I tend to upload on there, nothing sort of goes anywhere. Hello, Jonathan, how are you doing? Jonathan's my hotel buddy for the first night of Expo. There's just me and him in a full hotel. And I don't drink, and he rarely drinks, so it's going to be like some sort of Bible study. We're going to sit there doing live streams into the wee small hours. Strange, I've never smoked. I did try when younger, like you, but it never did. I'll tell you what, I wish it never did with me. Well, I don't know. No, the thing is that's the problem when you discuss it with anybody. I don't want anybody to think that I'm telling anybody what to do or that they're drinking too much. Because if you'd have actually seen the amount I was putting down, it was a lot. It really was a lot. And people don't know because, I used to turn up on YouTube and I'd have a couple of beers. But it was when YouTube had gone off and everybody else had gone off, I'd still be sat there hours later. You know what I mean? I used to it was just one of them things I'd slipped into. Obviously, my daughter's poorly. And when stuff gets on your nerves, if you enjoy a drink, you'll enjoy one a lot more. And in the end, it gets to the fact that you're not really enjoying it. You're just doing it because you think it's cheering you up. And in actual fact, it's making you even worse than what you already was. So it's a pointless exercise. And I said, my blood pressure shot up real bad. And so they put me on medication. On the box, it said, don't, regulate your drinking. And I thought, well, I've no chance of regulating mine because I've just lost control of it completely. So I'll just try stopping for a week. Anyway, a week came into like 8 days. And the first week was hard work. And I had to try and sort of do something different. So I just got demonetized with my other YouTube channel. So an obvious thing was, well, I'll go for a walk. And I thought, well, I'm quite good at talking down a microphone. So go for a walk and talk down a microphone at the same time and see if you can combine the two. And hello, Ian, how you doing, buddy? And if you're lucky enough that anybody actually wants to watch you, then it'll get good. And thankfully, I've actually got a little bit of a community going. I mean, these are my friends in real life. It's two people who I've met over the years. And there's quite a few people what sort of coming in. These live streams really help out, or they have been doing. It seems to have gone a little bit quieter than what it was over the last few weeks. But the first two we did were like over 600 people watching. Sexy voice. I don't think so. But I've usually got something to say about most things, and people sort of listen sometimes. ASMR. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this, and I've probably told it a million times, but I'm going to tell it again anyway. When I first started driving a cab 30 years ago, people used to hate working with me because I used to speak really quickly. I'd say 3 words nearly in one, and they used to go, "We can't understand what you're saying. You're going to have to slow down." And then when I started doing sort of online things, I've been Zoom rooms and Skype calls and Google Hangouts with American people. And if you spoke really quick, they couldn't get the accent at all, so they couldn't understand what you were saying. So I sort of slowed it down a little bit for the Americans. And then when I started doing YouTube, I slowed it down for them. And it's become the way I actually speak now. Unless I talk to Benny, and we've sort of both sort of not far away from each other, and so we do talk real quick in the lingo, and some people don't understand that as easy. But it's only sort of what I trained myself to do when I first started doing this, and with the cabs. But I was saying to somebody in the cab one day, I said, "I'll do YouTube." She said, "Yeah, I can tell." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "It's your voice, like you talk like a presenter." She said, "I'd listen to one of your stories." I thought, "Oh." You don't know what I'm going to tell you. So anyway, I've got 2 set up. I've got the Tank Beach and the Thedlethorpe Dunes Nature Reserve. So hopefully you're going to be interested in that. One thing I did do, I've got a Hohem gimbal that I've had for a long time, and I've never really used. So what I did do, I did shot in shot today. So I got 2 cameras, one in each hand. I keep forgetting the cameras in the middle, not either side. So we've got one pointing at me. Yeah, I've got TikTok. Yeah, but I don't do any good on there, Stu. Do you do any good? I don't do any good on there at all. I've tried doing lives, and they come in and leave just as quick. I've tried all sorts of things. I put a few drone videos on there, and they'll get 200 likes. I even promoted one to see if I could get some sort of audience. That got 2,500, but that was, cost me a tenner. So I don't really know what's going on with that. You just joined it yesterday. Well, give it a whirl. You might get stuck in. I don't know. I mean, you might just have the idea to do it, but they don't seem to want to look at what I've got to show them, to be honest. And gaining subscribers is just painful on there. I've been on I think I'm on 1,240 now. And when I decided I was going to have a go at it, I've got one what says Walking with Mick. And when I actually decided I was going to 5-6 months ago, I think I've gained 10. That's all I've gained in about 3 months. I haven't really tried Rumble, Mac. I don't know. Is there a community there to talk to? Can you do live streams? That's the thing, isn't it? Really. I think what it is, I sort of know. I wouldn't say I know what to do on YouTube because I've got 200 subscribers, but that's the other thing, isn't it? You can sit and look at a million YouTube videos a day, but it will tell you how to be successful on YouTube. And they all say the same thing. Oh, you need a good thumbnail and you need a good title, and then the rest of it, I don't really understand what they're on about because they all say the same thing. And then right at the very end of it, so if you click on this link, you'll be able to go on my training course, and I'll teach you how to be a YouTuber. But the thing is, if they've got to teach you how to do it, then it's not going to be natural, is it? I'd rather carry on doing what I'm doing and do what I want to do rather than what you have got to do. They keep saying, oh, you need this strategy, you need that strategy. Pities. Where am I from? UK. I'm from Lincolnshire, in the middle. Well, I don't know. It took us on the vape one that we did. We got up to 1,400, and it actually got monetised. City, well, it's not. It's a town called Gainsborough. If you look at Lincoln and you look at Scunthorpe on the map, we're in between, just at the side of the River Trent. Yeah, we got up to 1,400, but the thing is with that, it was more of a community thing. So they, once you've got most of the community on your list, then that was all that was available. Late last year, they started sending quite a few things out to be reviewed, and that sort of boosted it up a bit. When you get to 1,000, it does go up reasonably quick. Yeah, it's a market town. That's exactly what it is. There's a lot of people from Scotland that moved here with Marshall's tractors because they bought out somebody in Scotland and then closed it, and then they all moved here. And that is the estate I'm on. A lot of them moved to there, like the Overspill estate. Quite a few of them did that. Yeah, it was one about subscribers, weren't we? So I got up to 1,400, and the other channel I've got, it's got 5,600, but I did some promotion on that. And I'm not sure as it's done it any good. Gainsborough had a big rave scene in the 90s, I heard. I don't know. I think they're still doing it, but I don't know. Well, it would be a rave. It'd be actually, Boy George played here. He played here one night with his handbag music. He played at our DN21. The first thing he said, he went on the microphone, he said, "Oh no, what a shithole." That was my DJ, top DJ beat. I was listening to a guy the other day. He's got a TikTok channel, and he lives in Spain. I think he lives in Coín. Now, Coín is where they used to. Depending on how old you are, you'll not remember this, Graham, with your tender years. There used to be the BBC spent 10 million quid, and they wanted to start with a drama series from Spain called El Dorado. So they paid all these Spanish builders a load of money, and because they knocked them up with tin nails and you could see when they were acting, the set was moving like this. And anyway, they had to have a bit of a thing. And this 10 million quid, bearing in mind it must have been early 80s, was still a lot of money now, but it was an awful lot of money then. I think this thing lasted probably 6 months maximum. And that's in a place called Coín, which is nearly your first, if you come off the airplane at Malaga and set off as if you're going up towards, I think it's before Malaga City on the left, and it's a place called Coín. It's got a hyphen over the top of the I think, but it looks like coin. And I was watching this guy, and that's where he lives. And I actually followed him on YouTube, and I forgot where I was going with that. See, that's happened again. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was listening to him. It's come back now. That's the difference. It didn't used to come back. And I said to him, "You sound like Mike Reed, not the Cockney Mike Reed that used to be a comedian." I said, "You sound like Mike Reed off Radio 1 in the 80s. He said, "Somebody else said I sound like Simon Bates." Well, Simon Bates used to do our tune, or our tune, at 11 o'clock every morning. Work used to stop, and he used to sit there and he'd tell you some really sad story and then play a sad song at the end of it, and you got grown men stood there crying. Eldorado got axed. I remember watching that. It was only on for just over a year. Yeah, I couldn't remember how long it was, but that cost 10 million quid to build that set. And I say, I don't know if you remember. I think if you pick round on the satellite channels, you might even be able to find it. And so the set was doing this as I was walking about, and it was, they obviously got ripped off. Typical BBC thing: throw a load of money at it and don't bother checking on the quality. And then there was another one called El Cid, wasn't there, which was Alfred Molyneux, Jill Gascoigne's husband. Sadly, she's no longer with us. And they did a thing about the police. You thought, what was wine? Eldorado. No, it's elderberry. I can see. Go on YouTube. Not now, obviously, because I need you here. But when I finish, go on and put Eldorado. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, same sort of thing. I think same sort of budget. John Paul, how you doing, buddy? We was on about last week when I can't remember. I'd remembered his surname as well. What was the bloke, John Paul, that used to play the guitar in Led Zepp? And he went on to play the guitar for C6 Steve. I can't remember his name. Because we run about that. Have you gone, Stu? So we did get a good few subscribers on that, but there's nothing to. What they reckon with the YouTube channel, if you've already got a path that your YouTube channel's going on, so like you're doing your electric bike and your drone and you're travelling about, if all of a sudden tomorrow morning you got up and you thought, I don't want to go on that bike anymore and I'm sick of flying that drone, but I still want to do YouTube, I'm going to start doing bricklaying. The chances are that if you started uploading bricklaying videos, probably not bricklaying, you'd have to be something completely different. Flower arranging or something like that. If you started uploading flower arranging videos, then it would all just disappear because the people who are already subscribed, the YouTube doesn't know what to recommend the videos to, so it carry on recommending flower arranging videos to people that like to watch e-bikes, and they won't watch it. So then YouTube, the algorithm then thinks that your videos are terrible, so it stops giving them to anybody else. So that's why I just started another channel. Because say I already had 5,600 subscribers, and I also had 1,900 watch time hours. So I wanted 1,000 watch time hours to actually get monetized. But I just thought, well, no, I'm just going to go away and start it all again. It might have been worth a go, actually, now looking back at it now. Because it would have been 500 hours short of getting paid. I don't think I'm ever going to make enough to retire on that. I think in 14, 15 months, I made 500 quid off YouTube. That's all I made. But you hear these people saying that they're making thousands and thousands. But it'd be nice, wouldn't it? What I was sort of thinking of was, obviously I'm 58 now, and I was thinking of if I could get, I mean, you don't know what's going to be happening in 10 years, if you could get enough people when you actually retire from work to subsidise your pension, that was all I was interested in, really. And we're going to Spain in June, so what my plans are, that's why I've been, I've just bought little bits, and I'm still using little bits that I've bought over the years that I've never really used, like these microphones. This is Rode Go, the original Rode Go kit, not the 2. And what I was thinking, just take a phone, go down to the just at the side of the sea or just overlooking the sea and start, just sit there chatting to people while the sun goes down. Because obviously I've got to find something to do because I don't drink now. Bruce T, good evening. How you doing? Thanks for being there. So if anybody that's watching, if you want to make a comment, just pop in and say hello. If you're interested in what we're doing, if you want to hang about, just give us a subscribe. Free of charge. We don't charge you. There's no adverts on here yet either, so you ain't got to put up with that, to be honest. Hopefully one day, get on Twitch and do it. Money to be made there. I had a little go with Twitch with the vape thing, and I think there's only ever me watched it, to be fair. But some people build a decent following up. I know Grim Green, he's over there now, isn't he? Because they've demonetised him on here. And I think he's still making a living out of it. It's nice. I mean, now if you get to 3,000 watch time hours and 500 subscribers, you can switch on super chats and members. So if you can offer something to your members, it'd be worth going. Trying to book a holiday, a separate instead of a package. Really easy. Booking.com for your accommodation. I don't know who flies out your airport, but the cheapest one's Ryanair if you can actually get a flight with them. If you book your accommodation with Booking.com, there'll be an option to book a taxi through them, and it's always cheaper than what you can actually get a taxi from in that area. That's the only thing you need. That's it, you're done. Where are you going to, Scott? Jay's been demonetised as well, has he? Wow. Yeah, they all have, haven't they? Kristen Hanby is a millionaire off YouTube. There was a coloured guy as well, wasn't there? I don't know if that is Kristen Hanby. I don't know who Kristen Hanby is. Oh, Torremolinos. I was doing a new video on Bewdley, sat in a pub, and another YouTuber came in. Had a great laugh. Holiday type review. Ah, right, excellent. Channel called Get Some Sun with Paz. Did you follow him? I did on my other channel. I did we always book everything separately when we book holidays. Yeah. We have done. The only thing is, well, there's no problem, is it? Yeah, it's like once you've done it first time, you can't believe that you can actually do it. But in some cases it can be a saving. But the only thing is you've got to realise is that you've got to. Jazzy Jeff, how you doing? Could you put the fries in the bag, bro? Thanks. No problem. Just send it over. Jazzy Jeff. Are you the Fresh Prince? Prank channel. Some of those channels, though, you start watching them, it's supposed to be pranks. Not even funny, is it? We did it for years. What's your thoughts on mass immigration? Well, I've no problem whatsoever with immigration if they get off an aeroplane. Go through everywhere where we go. Yeah, we go. We haven't had one yet. No problem whatsoever if they get off an aeroplane. If you've got something to offer this country, you're more than welcome to live here. Don't care what colour your skin is, what your religion is, anything. But you must come on an aeroplane and walk through the same channels as I do when I go to your country. That's it. End of. What was we on about now? See, you put me off. It's your fault. Yeah, we actually went to a place called Frigliana, which is thank you very much, Jazzy Jeff. If you come out Torremolinos on that motorway that you can see when you're laid on the beach and shoot off up there, it takes you up to a place called Nurka, Frigliana. It's well worth the trip if you're looking for that. You'll get a trip from the local travel agent. It takes you up to a beautiful white and blue themed village. We went with Tiwi and we rented a villa there. And I scoured the internet and I found a guy called Stuart who was FriglianaRentals.com. And every other time I've ever been to Frigliana, I've been with him. And we're actually great friends. He's a friend of mine, and we leave stuff at his house. so he's bringing it home. If I go there tomorrow, I've already got 2 chairs. I've even got a pint glass there, if I can throw that away now. And a lilo that I bought 6 years ago in the shape of McDonald's fries. So it looks massive, because I'm a big lad. So it's like 6 foot long, 4 foot wide, something like that. Have you spoke to Bill? Yeah, I did. Yeah, spoke to him the other day. We speak all the time. We didn't fall out. It wasn't, we didn't get divorced. Yeah, he's very, very busy. You can guess what he's doing. Golfing. I think he might have retired. The thing is with Bill, he can come back any time he wants. He's still got the same setup, hasn't he? He was having a bit of trouble. He bought a new computer. And he was having a bit of trouble, and they were sending him a disk to reload Windows. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing, mate. Yeah. But say he had trouble with his Anki. How you doing, buddy? He had trouble with his computer, so he swapped it for another one. But in that, instead of getting another AMD, he went for the i7 or something like that. But it was an open boxer, so it's come and it's got corrupted. Something's corrupted on it, so they're sending him another disk out to reload it itself. Because the one he keeps downloading, it's got a fault with the sound, I think, or something. It keeps knocking his sound off when he's trying to talk in Zoom. So hopefully it'll not be too long before they get that out to him. It's nice to see you, Steve, my old love. So I'm just having a Diet Coke. It's bloody beautiful and cold and all. It's not been a bad day. I went out and we've had quite a lot of wind, so I didn't. There was no. Well, I couldn't fly my drone anyway because I was just at the side of the. It was just going into red, so it was dark, orange, and then red. So I don't think they wanted me flying it anywhere near the RAF firing range, so I didn't bother. But I think it would have been too windy anyway, so I'm pleased I didn't. Your Pepsi, yeah. There's nothing the worse either, is it? If you went into a pub and they said, "Can I have a Pepsi, please?" They go, "Sorry, we only do Coke. Is that all right?" It's not really all right, is it? It's like going in there and saying, "I'll have a Bacardi, please." They say, "Well, we ain't got any of that." Well, gin be all right. My old love. You love it. You're just jealous that John's going to be in the same hotel as me for a full night and you're not going to be there. I'm not going to tell him your room number, though, just in case he comes up. Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's like going into I'll have fish and chips twice, please. Oh, wait, battered sausage, all right? Clearly not. That's why I said fish. But they're just pouring it, they go, Coke, all right? My wife goes to work at night and sometimes she gets a meal deal. And she always brings the Diet Coke home for me. And I've got Fanta and all sorts of things. You do get sick of drinking tea. That was another thing. If you do decide to completely stop drinking from being a heavy drinker, the first thing you need to buy is decaffeinated tea bags, because you'll drink tea till the cows come home, and you just keep drinking it, and then you do get a bit of insomnia if you've knocked it in the head, and then it gets 10 times worse because of all the caffeine. Obviously, all the caffeine. You just keep drinking loads of caffeine every night before you go to bed. So I have a couple of cups of caffeinated tea in the morning, and then I mainly drink decaf. I'm going away with a friend of mine, and me and him used to go to Amsterdam when we were younger, and we would have a competition to see who could get the most drunk or inebriated in any way, shape, or form. And he drinks decaffeinated tea as well now, so we're going to be like two old duffers sat there drinking. We used to drink Smirnoff Blue because it was 10% stronger than the other one, and you could actually fall off the chair with it. And now we'll be sat there like neither of us smoke. Be sat there like two old blokes. Amazing as you get older. I think as your life starts to run out, you try and keep hold of it, don't you? That's probably what it is. We've got 16 people in. 16. We've not had as many through tonight, have we? So last week, 680. It's unbelievable. I've never done a live stream to that amount of people. It was like being famous. The chat was going that quick. You couldn't keep up with it. It was like a YouTuber's dream. Who's sending love arts? It's a shame they don't actually work. If you do that on TikTok, it actually registers as something, doesn't it? They've changed the logarithm on TikTok now, though, because people could put any old thing up. If they've got quite a few subscribers, they could put any old thing up, and it'd get a load of views. Whereas now it's got to go through a certain amount of things before they actually start to recommend it. If you're not doing anything any good, they just get 200 views. A bit like everything I put on there. I think they were drone footage. It's a bit selective, isn't it, really? Yeah, it is. Yeah, you can't do anything about it on here. I'm on a phone. What's the reason for stopping drinking? I was drinking too much, Bruce, to be honest. I've got my daughter's terminally ill. I've always liked to drink, and I'd slipped down that slippery slope where it was the norm to it got to the stage where I was only one night a week before I didn't drink, and I was drinking more and more and more, I've started to swell up and look really bloody peaky, to be honest, and then all of a sudden, I think that had probably caused it. I got high blood pressure. I got high blood pressure, and I am on medication, but a fairly low dose, and it's down to 134/80. And when they first took it, when I was really hammering it, it was 189, 189 over 103, which is quite high. Was it easy to stop? It's easy. If I don't know what level you're at, Bruce, or whether you are at any sort of level, or let's say the person you're on about is at a fairly strong level. First thing I've said is that if anybody that's drinking heavily decides to stop, you need to consult your doctor. And when you go to the doctors, you need to actually tell him what you really are drinking, not what you used to tell him that you were drinking to pass your medical. Because if you stop drinking too quick, you can actually have a seizure and die. So I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing in the world. You have to do something else, and I've sort of gone a little bit down the exercise route. There's certain things. When I stopped smoking, I stopped reading books. I used to go on holiday and read book after book after book after book, and really enjoy every one of them. But I'd have fag after fag after fag, one in each hand, that type of thing when you're on holiday, because they're cheap in Spain. And since I've stopped drinking, I can't watch telly. Nothing seems to get me. Actually, that's a little bit of a lie, because I started watching a thing about an Australian. It's a little bit Breaking Badish, that type of thing. I can't remember the name of it. Somebody probably will be able to remember the name of it. And I started watching that last week, and I watched it for about 4 hours non-stop. About an Australian sort of gangster bloke, and it's really interesting. It's good. It's funny as well, so it helps. But there's a lot of stuff I just can't watch it, because I don't know. I think when you've had a load to drink, you watch it, and you just forget. Well, I don't think you actually watch it. You just sat there staring at it. But it's a lot of dramas nowadays. When you actually start watching them, they're crap, aren't they? Really, I think that's the best way of describing them. I think you'd have to have 6 cans of Special Brew to watch EastEnders anyway. That's what I'm saying, and probably a few chasers. One of my biggest things was spirits. I used to love. I'd sit there at night when I come in. Yeah, that's right. Same, Scott. Sit there at night with a cup of tea. Well, yeah. Thank you very much. I say I'm not going to. It's easy. It's very, very easy nowadays. Depends where you live. If the average person from the UK went across to America and told them what they actually drank, by American standards, they'd say, "Oh, you're an alcoholic." But by British standards, you're just having a bit of a drink, aren't you? And that's the difference. It's all about the concept, isn't it? I mean, you see some people, whether it be drugs or alcohol or anything, and they're so terribly addicted, and they can't stop, and it ends their life. Baldy over there, what's it like to have no hair? I bet you have bed hair in the morning, though. WDS14. Just imagine what it's like when you get up in the morning and you look amazing. You're not going to get up and you ain't got a flat spot there. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's gone wrong overnight. You didn't go to bed with your hair damp and it's all stuck up. You get up, wash your head, wash your face. You're ready for the day. I don't apologise, you're fine. We're only here for the comments. we actually are only here for the comments. Great comeback, yeah. I've been doing it. It's not my first rodeo. Well, you can if you want. You're more than welcome to. We can promise you good banter and a friendly place, a safe space to. Well, it's not safe at all. No. I'd actually like to do this on my computer, but it seems to work better if you do it on the phone. You're more than welcome. You can sit in the comfy corner of being subscribed. I'll be back. I do Thursday night late on now because I finish work. My wife's not in, and sat on the wall. Thanks. I've been insulted in better places than this. Yeah, catch you later, Scott. Hope you're doing all right. Everybody go and see Scott because he's got lots of stuff to sell. Because he's got a friend who's got that awful bloody disease Arlu's got, and he needs a bit of help. So pop across and have a look at him. Turn the sound round for him, Mick. Impossible. No, stupid people. It's a shame you can't do that. Normally you can mirror it. No, you can't. There's only certain people that can be a moderator. And that's Graham spelled correctly, Mike spelled correctly. That's it. Done. And Bill spelled correctly as well, I think. There's only about 3 in here. On the vape channel I used to do, we used to end up with about, it's spelt DAM for damn. Anyway, you did quite well, actually. Because your insults were spelt correctly. We had a lot of people in last week, and they're very insulting, but none of them could spell. So we decided this week, if you're going to be insulting, you're okay if you spell it correctly. Whereabouts are you from, WDS14? I love men. Somebody asked me last week, they said, are you gay? I said, I'm just starting to be. Can we meet up? Just shows your brain's getting bigger. The Villa Boys from Aston. Has anybody seen Bill's dad? No. Are you from London? Yeah. Has anybody seen Bill's dad? Why would you ask that? I don't know what that means. It probably means something. Is it something cool? The Villa Boys from Aston. Where's Aston? I've had no hair for a lot of years, so I'm quite used to that. Don't let Villa fans in, Mick. Why is that? Oh, you're a baggies. I don't know. What's the baggies? If you start talking football, you've lost me, Mr. Clean. Not done too bad. Oh, West Brom. Yeah, he's still got a bit of hair. I shave mine off. I shave it off 3 times a week. I think I could grow a fair amount. I could maybe do a comb over. The thing is, when you get over 50, you end up with masses of ear hair, so you could just poke straight over there, full old comb over. Last seen with Bill's kids. I'm lost. Dwayne the Rock Balding. See, that's not spelled correctly. Baggies, babe. I'm lost, yeah. That's it. Thing is with trolls, I mean, it's all right if I have a laugh in that. You're more than welcome to come in and have a laugh. But you can't take it over, really. And that's sometimes what we found when I first started YouTubing a long while ago. If you didn't watch it, when you were a bit wet behind the ears and a bit new at it, if you didn't watch it, you used to spend more time talking to them than what you did actually doing it. You know, I love a bit of banter, a bit of to and fro. It's a good laugh, but it's got to be funny. And spelt correctly. West Brom's sure to fail again this season. There you go. You're on, Stu. Don't forget to put at before you put his name in, and then he can do it at you because I don't understand. I always is what from a non-football fan point of view, it's bloody pointless. You do the same thing every year. That's what I can see. They spend millions and millions of pounds doing the same old stuff every year. When and why did I start on YouTube? I've always been a bit of a. I actually started doing like Google Hangouts and no, you're right, you're fine. Google Hangouts and a thing called Blab and stuff like that. So I've always liked chatting to people. Then I started vaping in 2016, and in 2019 I actually went on YouTube and saw somebody doing a vape show, and I thought I could do that. So 2020, just as it come into 2020, that's exactly what we started to do. I said to a friend of mine called Bill, I said, let's do a show on YouTube. He went, he thought I was joking. Anyway, 10 minutes later, I got a Zoom room and a YouTube channel and all sorts, and off we went. But say it was a big community. There was a fairly big community, so we got up to 1,400 subscribers with that. And then just before Christmas, Google's gone round and demonetised all the vape channels, which is it's their platform. You can't moan. There's no good complaining about it. That's life, isn't it? Obviously, the thing about vaping's took a bit of a slide. We all thought we were doing really well, stopping smoking and going onto vaping, and then all of a sudden everybody's decided it's popcorn farts and everybody's dying, but they're not. And so obviously Google's decided that it don't want to see it on its platform, so they've demonetised everybody. So I thought, well, I'm not going. It's a bit like working for Morrison's and earning a decent or a bit of a wage, and then all of a sudden them coming to you one day and saying, right, you've been really good. Would you mind doing it for free? And I thought, well, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth, to be honest. Elijah Fonts. God, that was difficult. How you doing, buddy? Nice to see you, Elijah. Let's just go off with that. Fontswee. I love the old show, Mick. It was a shame it ended. Well, yeah. Yeah, but I think I was more offended than hope, to be honest, Mike, because it didn't really make any difference, did it? They said if you change all your content, delete all your videos, we'll monetize you again in 3 months. So I deleted all the thing, and I thought, well, and then all of a sudden I thought, well, actually the people on here are my friends, so I'll just not bother. Yeah, that was Bill what was on about that the other day. Watch out for them. You got my last name wrong. Apologise for it. I am so sorry, buddy. I am so sorry. Can you spell it out for me? Could you have a channel content about Bill, Bill's dad, Bill's kids, and Sue Harold? That rings a bell. No, not really. You could do it and we'd watch. I'll be your first sub. I would imagine Bill's 70, so Bill's dad's dead. I don't think his kids are interested. Yeah, you do it. You let us know when you've done it, and then come back and tell us, and we'll come and watch it. I've no idea. Is the channel free to watch? Of course it is. It's also free to subscribe. So if you want to subscribe, you can, and set your notification bell so you can keep up to date on all the content. That's what everybody says. If you want to be a big YouTuber. And then you hear somebody saying, don't say that at the end of everything. Desperate to get people involved in the Bill Society. We need more bills. Well, we've got a bill. I don't know if I don't know who you are, obviously. We've already got a Bill, and he's a fantastic bloke. And he's 70 years old, and he's from Kentucky. God, that sounded local, didn't it? Ode. And he's got a UK sense of humour, brilliant. A fella called Bruce Turgan said I have to pay a yearly fee to watch, mate. Is that right? I don't know who Bruce Turgan is, but you don't have to pay a fee to watch this. Is that? I don't know, mate. You lost me. Me and Bill are getting married. Well, I'm pleased for you. Anyway, I'm enough for Bill because we're losing the plot here. But only at 73 minutes. I might as well give it another 10. They seem really easy to chat on these sometimes. I know we used to do the vape show sometimes. You used to just get the Villa Boys from Aston has subscribed. Thank you very much. £6 a month. What for? I think you're wrong. I don't know what you're on about. No, I won't pay for it either. I don't think it's worth it. We used to have a membership thing, but you didn't have to pay to watch. You used to do it. Hey, look at that. Space Turtle. How you doing? The nicest man in Germany, possibly. Nice to see you, Lars. Hope you're well. Really nice to see you. I didn't know you were subscribed here. Grand. Is that a German term, or have you just adopted it from our lingo? 18 in and 18 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Fabulous people. Can I talk about anything in particular? What's this channel about? Just come across it. You can talk about anything, mate. Absolutely anything. What it is, I actually go for a walk. It's as simple as it sounds. So we did a vape channel up till December, I think it was November, December, and all of a sudden they demonetized it. And instead of trying to change that channel into something else, I didn't get rid of it. It's still there. Still go live on it occasionally. And I just bought a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and started going for a walk and jabbering into the microphone. Wife's back at 11:10. Why are you coming round? I'm not gay out. Sometimes scroll through my YouTube shorts and suddenly Mick is walking next to a random body of water. Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Well, it's not weird, but it seems to be I didn't realise I got a passion for walking next to water, but I have. I find going for country walks a bit boring, if I'm really honest. But anything to do with water. Why do I vape? I used to smoke for 40 years. And it was the only way I could get off them, to be honest. Where in the country I am? Gainsborough, Lincolnshire. Between Lincoln and Scunthorpe. Just at the side of the old Trent. Or the new Trent. Or the Trent. Yeah, that's where I am. I've been here I've lived here in the area all my life, but I moved into Gainsborough in '84. Been here just over 40 years. Hanky's in Africa, is not really. Oh, you've been Birmingham. My granddaughter won. There was an award ceremony on the campus, I think it was, and she won Carer of the Year, Young Carer of the Year, on Saturday night. It was beautiful, dude. Black tie, dude. Lovely. Are we swingers? No, definitely not, mate. God, no, I can't think of anything worse. You know, from a blokey point of view, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? If you were like single, obviously. But you wouldn't want to watch the old girl, you know. Definitely not. I don't think I could manage that myself, to be honest. Think about it. Comb your hair once in a while. We're back to the hair. Gainsborough was the capital of the country for a day once. No, it was a couple of months. The Swain Fort beard. King Canute. And the grandfather was called somebody Bluetooth. And that's where they took the word Bluetooth from, for connection. Also, Gainsborough, if you look, there's people on the rosters for the first ships, the tall ships going over from the UK, England at the time, to America. I don't think they were very united at that point. Because of the Jacobites, they weren't allowed to, Cromwell's time, wasn't it? They weren't allowed to practice their religion. But they were allowed to practice it in Gainsborough Old Hall, and then some of them went on to the thing. Half an hour, we return with more stories of Bill. Yeah, if you could find out who Bill is, it'd be good. Have I got a Prince Albert? Why on earth would you have that done? Christ. Yo, Baldy. Fist bump. I bet you've got one, Hanky. I can't think of anything worse, can you? You sound like a classic FM host in the early hours of the morning. New wave jazz. Hello, everybody. No, I can't do it now. I'm trying. Yeah, 2 people said I've got a bit of a radio voice. I don't think I could do it because I couldn't be asked to wait for the bloody record to finish before I started talking again. It'd be all about me. I'd have to do talk radio where I could jabber on. Just imagine that. You'd like, well, will you shut up? We're trying to play this music. No, I've got something to say. Right, we'll give it another few minutes and I'm going to have to go because it's been 79 minutes. Hanky will show you his expert. I'm sure he will. I'm looking forward to it. Please what? What were we on about? Please what? Do you wipe up and down, or do you dab, or do you wipe what? Has that tea left a stain? My dear wife, came in from work. Well, it wasn't. I think it was the next morning because both of us are, similar age group, and your eyes get a bit soft, don't they? She said, "What's all that up that wall?" And I dropped a full cup of tea. Yeah, catch you later, Stu. We're going in a minute anyway. The tea, it's gone up all the way up the bloody wall, isn't it? She went up the wall, straight through the stairs, and yeah, no, I ain't spilt it anymore. And then it went all over the bloody mirror in the hallway as well. So I had a bit more cleaning up to do than what I thought. Yeah, I really ought to go. 22.50. We've been on a long while. Shout out my channel. You can have a shout out if you want. Can everybody follow WSD? No, WDS 14. I'm going to pop over and see what your content's like. Yeah, he's a bit different. People just come on here and they say what they want, don't they? They don't have to. Hello, John. Hello, mate. Are you going to SawCon this year? The community would love to see you. No, I'm not going this year. I can't do it. They didn't pay me for last year, so I'm not going to go. You're weird for asking for payment for a channel that ain't yours. Oh, it's not good. Yeah, I knew that one. I'm supposed to say what SawCon. Yeah, I think you came in last week and tried that one with us. Yeah, thanks, Mick. Great show. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of weird. No, it's kind of weird. Is that what you're supposed to be saying? Yeah, I'll pop over and have a look. I hope there's no nudity because I don't want to watch that. Anyway, I'm going to have to disappear. We've been on 81 minutes and 35 seconds, and there's no intro or outro, so I've actually been talking solidly for 81 minutes. And to really honest, I need to have a vape now, and it'll be fantastic. Thank you everybody for coming in. If you watch it on the replay, which some people actually do, and you're enjoying what you're looking at, let's have a subscription off you. Be really pleased to see you back next time. If you want to come in and have a laugh, you're more than welcome. Try and make it funny though, and make sure you spell it properly. Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.